Dirty.com.
Here we go.
The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? How's everybody? Hoping everybody's doing all right on this Veterans Day 2025. Thank you for your service. For all of our veterans out there, no matter where or what branch of government, armed forces that you were in, I'm hoping that we will hear a lot today from our veterans. I know we got plenty of them that listen to this show, so hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to all of you, just like Galloway, just like, let me see, who else is in there? Mr. Bill, all of you all that are a part of it. If I ain't call your name, don't worry. I want you to call it. So that might give you incentive to call in and say, gee, I was military. Want to hear from you. So happy Veterans Day to all of our armed forces, to all of our folks in the armed forces, and those that have passed. Thank you for your service as well. Our number is 504-582-9422. That's 504-582-9422. Want to hear from you today. The other thing, too, because we're going to have a long talk today about the Democrats. And this is a question for you. I want to know what you think about it. Did the Democrats cave, or are they weak? Did they mean to, or are we in the position to say, well, they wanted to make sure that there was no issue with, the folks that were sitting back and saying, okay, how long is this shutdown of the government going to happen, and people not getting food because the Democrats are holding up a vote? And I'm thinking to myself, this is probably one of the moments where I'm thinking that the Democrats are going to be the strongest. Say, hey, we can't work out what's happening with this Obamacare stuff. We got a problem. If y'all can't work this out first, then we're going to have a problem. But that ain't happening. Not at all. Not at all. So, where are we at? Are the Democrats showing some sense and saying, let's make sure that, people can get their food, and maybe they should have caved, but what y'all think? Now, I know this is going to be one of them shows where, we're going to be like, oh, the Democrats this, the Democrats that, the Democrats this, the Democrats that. But that's what I'm looking for. Are the Democrats wrong for breaking ranks with their party? At least 8 of them to say, hey, we need to make sure that we get this government back open. So we're going to go along with the Republicans to get this thing open. And they're promising us, which they have not, that there will be a conversation about what's happening with people's health care soon as we get the government back open, so we can pay our military, pay our folks that's with the TSA and these airlines, the air traffic control folks, and all of these folks that's out, and we can get some SNAP benefits. So should this be a non-starter? Should this be the way that it is? Or should the Democrats said, we got you right where we want you? Because maybe they weren't listening when it came down to who the American people thought were right or wrong. Because the polls say that the people are saying that this is the Democrats that's right, the majority of the Democrats that are right, and the folks that are wrong are the Republicans. So what had happened was, well, what had happened? Did you fold? Did you know something that I didn't know? What is it? Somebody help me out with this now. Don't make me stand up here and have this conversation by myself. I know that a lot of you talk show hosts that are out there in your car right now or at work right now, you all are having this conversation amongst yourselves. The revolution shall not be televised, but this one will be on the radio. This one will be on the radio. And I want to know what you think. That sound like Gil Scott Heron. Revolution shall not be televised. Oh, God. Y'all don't know what I'm dealing with today. Him ain't happy again. All right, so which one is it? Are we wrong? Are we right? Is this political bantering? Is this... Well, we needed to do it, Gerod, because of the fact that, we got all these hungry folks out here. What about the children? What about the children? And everybody's saying that, well, we're going to make sure that you have something to eat. That's what the food lines are for. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I'm being, straight up ignorant about the children not getting their food. Because I'm not. I just need to know, because I have my opinion. I want to know yours. I'm trying to hold mine back. I want to know yours. Five 582 9422. 504 582 9422. Because to me, there's something about this issue. There is something about this issue. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but if I can get all these folks that I know are right in the midst of it, you'll tell me. You would tell me. My other one is going to come back home a little bit. It's going to come right back home. Y'all, I got to know. As an old man, that'd be me, I need to know some things. What's going on with the teachers on the North Shore? Hello? What's going on? And I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put it in specifics, not Pacifics. That's water, but I'm gonna put it in specifics. As I had this conversation, it seems like every year that I've been doing this show, that I'm having to read a story and talk about I'm trying to describe them without sounding ignorant. Mostly, I'd say midlife, 30s, 40s. Female teachers that end up being put in jail for messing around with these students, these 15, 16-year-olds. Am I tripping? What's going on the North Shore? Why are you all putting not only your career, but your life as you know it, throwing it away, messing around? You 30, 40 years old and you got a 14, 15, 16, maybe 17. I'm going to say go up to 16-year-old that's laying the wood. And you letting them do it. What is it? And it's usually, now I'm going to just say this just to be, to the point. It's usually the white female, that's the teacher, that's messing with these little young 15 and 16-year-old boys. Hello? Is it me? I mean, I sit and wait. I'm just trying to figure out, do they have some type of hormones, pheromones, or whatever it is that when you sniff it, you got to have some of it? What is it? Are these boys looking around and saying, hey there, teacher, I got stamina. I wake up in the morning opening doors with no hands. Hey, bam. I come to your classroom swinging wood. Bam. What is it? Let's be for real. Madam Teacher? Miss Ma'am? They said the last one that I read was going to the bar and buying beer for the little boys. And I'm like, what? She not only going to give you some wood or let you take the wood, she going to get you a little high, get you a little drunk, get you some beer. She buying beer for the kids. Oh. Madam Teacher, I just got to tell you something. You a grown-ass woman. Don't you know they gonna tell? Hell, you have to worry about the adults telling. You know the kids gonna tell. Them young boys is gonna tell their buddies. Guess what, man? You ain't gonna believe this. Guess what I did with Miss third period teacher? Ain't she a fox? Yeah, man. I like to get with that. Well, I gotta tell you, I did. What? Yeah. She liked to play sink the sausage and everything. What? But I'm just trying to figure out, what is it that's the draw for these teachers to be playing with these kids? Don't you know that could be considered? And I don't know why it wasn't in this last case, but that could be considered for us. Y'all know what I mean when I say for us? That would be considered for us statutory rape. And you would be a sex offender for years, if not for the remainder of your life. Them kids, that's right, Shannon, them kids is going to tell. Now, let's not make this sound like it just started. It's been going on. And some of the men are no better. Some of the men are no better. But if you don't start looking around and asking questions and see the signs of your children and what they're doing. They're excited to go to this teacher's classroom, or they want to hang out in the evening time with this teacher. Y'all got to do a little bit better as parents. And I'm not blaming you, so please don't think that I am. And looking at what your children, your child, because they're still children, and what's going on. We've all seen, as young folks, young kids, when we grew up the same way, so I'm not putting it on our young kids. We grew up with a crush on a teacher. You had a crush on your teacher, no matter if it's a boy or a girl. We had a crush on our teacher. But sometimes, and from what we're seeing in today's society, some things can go a little far and get you in trouble. Because what I saw, and I was surprised that this wasn't involved in the case. But again, it made me say who you are, who you related to, and just basically the color of your skin. Because one thing I did not see in this last case, where I saw where the lady was buying the kids alcohol, and they were saying that the teacher was also letting the boys play Let's Sink the Sausage. They did not charge her with statutory rape. I was like, what? Again, it makes me say who you are and what you are. So if that's my daughter that this teacher played, I'm moving hell and earth to beat your behind. They're going to have to lock me up because I'm coming for you. Now, the question is, now listen to this. This is going to be controversial. And I know moms will probably say the same thing about their daughters. Moms will probably say the same thing about their sons. But the question is, would fathers say the same thing about their sons being with an older woman? Oh, that's controversial, G. That's very controversial. But it's a question that I like to know. 504-582-9422. All right, folks, we got to take a break. Sticky today, huh? Happy Veterans Day. All right, we want to hear from our veterans, too. 504-582-9422 is the number. We'll take our first break of the day, and we'll come back. Hey, Miss Sharon. What's going on, Miss Sharon Walker? More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, Our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one. On your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com. A message from the Greater New Orleans East Business Alliance. New Orleans East is primed for economic development and growth. The East has an abundance of commercial space and vacant land available. The opportunity for development is endless. Come be a part of the economic rebuild. For more information, please give us a call at 504-957-3568. That's 504-957-3568. Building a strong New Orleans East makes a stronger New Orleans.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Here we go.
The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. You're funny. You're funny. Get your microphone. You ain't said nothing today. You don't. I mean, I know you. Something wrong with your throat? It's sore. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's because you're walking around with your booty out in the night. So I told you about that. Oh, I know he's gonna say something now. You
Can't help if your mama got
I
the
know.
cooties.
I knew it was coming. I knew you were gonna say something.
She got the cooties.
You got the cooties too?
No, she gave them to me.
Oh man, that's all right. I'm glad she got rid of them. Gave them to you. You deserve them. You deserve every
Looking
last
at a cootie
one
in the
of
room right there with that peach shirt on.
I got your cootie all right. So, are you all right though? Are you catching cold?
Why are you starting with me, bro? It's a change of weather
Oh, that's what it is.
and the sinuses.
Yeah.
Post nasal
You got the drip.
Yep.
I done heard so many people sneezing, and I'm sorry. I think you wore off on me a little bit when I'm out in different places and people sneeze.
Oh, I look at them.
Oh, no, I cover up immediately. I'm looking for tissue, a handkerchief, or I'm starting to now carry my mask again.
But I look at them like this.
I carry my mask. I ain't even got to do that. I'm like, and I'm ignorant with it, so I'm going to put my mask on in front of them.
Yep.
And
It's
that
because of you. I'm
because
doing
of you.
this.
Because of you. Because you so scared. I think that just changed your whole perception, and you had that PTSD about these issues.
They're too worried about what people think. Like, oh, he's wearing a mask.
Nah,
That's
all right.
That's that orange SOB that got everybody like that. Oh, you're not a man if you're wearing a mask. Man, please.
Wait a minute.
That was him the first time
Oh,
around
you
with
talking
COVID.
about the prayers? I thought you.
No, not about you. That's
I
peach.
I thought you were calling me the orange SOB.
No.
I was like, hold up.
If
bro.
I was talking about you since you're technically a New Orleanian, I'd say orange.
Mm-hmm. So I need to get your opinion because I'm trying to hold my opinion. I want everybody calling me about their opinion. Your son, your daughter, 15, 16 years old, high schooler, and the phone rings one day, and it's one of the authorities from the school or from the police department or investigations or whatever calls you to tell you that they found out that your son has been involved sexually with the teacher.
The whamma lamma ding dong.
Yeah.
Well, now the younger me, honestly, I would be like, what she look like?
That's like a notch in your belt,
Yeah.
boy.
Like, that's my boy.
Uh-uh.
What she look like? But the older me,
Mm-hmm.
like, Oh, what the hell is your problem?
What you thinking?
What the hell were you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't thinking. All the brain just
What you was thinking with the other brain?
All the blood went from your top brain to your bottom brain.
Right. So,
and I beat the daylights out of him.
Now let's change this. Let's change the scenario. What about if the teacher is a man? He's 30, 40 years old. Okay, the teacher is, and the student is your 15, 16-year-old daughter. And it's,
does Lorena Bobbitt come to mind?
Oh, you about to cut him off?
Smooth off.
All the way off of her?
All the way. Balls and all.
Oh no. So the protection agent is supposed to be the teacher, right? And you're finding out that this teacher has some type of fantasy of young kids. Now, if he's doing it with your child, don't mean that's the only one. Right?
Well, either way, male or female, is wrong. It should be handled the same. The
but
way
you said
handle
something that's imperative. That's what I'm trying to get to. You said the younger you, for the male, would have said what she look like.
And the younger me would have killed him over my daughter.
And the younger you would have killed him. What's the difference? Now, Donna don't know yet.
I hate to say it, to put it this way, but that's kind of expected out of boys.
Huh?
It's kind of almost expected out of boys to be doing nasty stuff like that.
With boys?
Yeah. With boys, with the
teacher.
Teacher.
Yeah. I mean, you have a school crush.
And I mean, you don't think about your daughter, your little princess, having sex. You don't think about that. It's like she's your baby. She can't do any wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the boy, I'm expecting him to mess up. But either way is wrong. It doesn't matter. It's wrong either way.
See, that's part of it with me. There is a difference between the boys and the girls. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And it's not fair. But when I looked at this issue with it being on the North Shore, and I looked at the teacher, white female, and I saw that she got in trouble, and all this is going to court. Everything that I looked at, and I looked at the charges, what I didn't see was the fact that she was not charged with statutory rape, because that's statutory rape. Us, I feel that if that would have been us,
under the jail,
we would have been charged with statutory rape.
Yes.
Now, it also makes me say, who's she related to? Who intervened that she would not be a sexual predator? She wouldn't be considered to have to wear a sexual predator jacket on her license, nothing else. She wouldn't become that person for the remainder of her life.
Well, one thing.
But she's going to lose her teaching license.
Now, in St. John's Parish, that's where a lot of those cases have come from.
A lot of those cases came St. John or no, North Shore.
St. John, too. They've had
really?
St. John, yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Out that way, and a couple of teachers got in trouble for it, female white teachers, but they threw the book at them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I wonder what's going on the North Shore where, they're catching them, they're arresting them, but they're not throwing the book at them.
When it comes to North Shore and New Orleans, they're not like us.
I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be.
I just got to put it that way. They're not like us.
They're not like us?
Nah.
You want me to sing the song? They're not like us?
If you want to.
Nah, I'm just I thought you were going to say no anyway.
No.
The other part of this, I was asking the question earlier. I always want to get perspective of the folks. Democrats. They caved.
Sellouts.
At least 8 of them said we're going to go with the Republicans.
Sellouts.
And we're going to vote to open up the government, pay these SNAP benefits without a deal for the health care.
Sellouts. That's all I got to say.
And they came to the microphone and did a press conference and said, hey, we're going to go ahead on and go with them and yada, 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 yada. We're going to break away from the Democratic Party. We're going to do this. And we'll come back to the table. They're promising us that they will have a conversation about the extensions of the Affordable Health Care Act.
And watch, those are the 8 Democrats that are going to get voted out and replaced by new Democrats. Because they sold out. Straight up.
You think they sold out?
Yeah, I think they sold out.
You don't think that?
Because you're letting this damn MAGA agenda get through.
Yep.
Yeah, you're helping people right now, but in the long run, it's gonna hurt if at the midterms don't go our way with the blue wave. It's gonna hurt big time.
I'm trying to figure out what the what did they not hear with the people in the polls? Because the polls are saying that the majority of folks that were surveyed in the poll, they're saying that the Republicans were at fault for this, not the Democrats, and it was a whole bunch of folks. Let me take over real quick. What you say?
Good evening, Gerard. Good evening, listeners. Glad you for taking my call. But I was listening to you all talking just now. And if you go behind the curtain, 3 things are going on. No, they didn't get what they wanted. But none of those senators are up for re-election, for number one. None of them are up for re-election. They all are retiring. So that was one factor that we had to look at. The second part of it is 1 or 2 of those senators, the second guy in charge, I think is Dick Durbin, his constituent put the pressures on because they are the ones, those federal workers, he got a majority of federal workers that's in his district. I mean, overwhelmingly, and I understood the pressure coming from him. So now, over the overall front, now what has happened is we just have to put it out there. This administration and the Congress, the House of Reps, and the senators, they rather beat up on poor and old people and children than to do what is right. Now, we got 3 of those Republican senators right now when the health care expired in their district. This thing going to reverse in their district from $64 a month to $6,300 a month. That's what it's going to cost. And one of the things happened, they have been staunch on eliminating Obamacare.
Yep.
And I'll show you, we did a study a couple of months ago, about 2 years ago. We asked the question in suburban America, would you rather have Obamacare
or the
Affordable Care?
ACA. Right.
I'd rather have the Affordable Care, nothing with Obama. Unfortunately, that was the same thing. And once you put a title on it is. And now the problem I'm having with the administration is everything is about Biden. You are the president. I listened to the speech today with the veterans, and I listened to all this stuff is Biden, Biden, Biden. You are the president. What Biden did, what Lincoln did, what Washington did, what Kennedy did, it doesn't matter. What are you doing? And they are, and what is happening, folks are dedicated to disaster. We got the farmers broke. The wheat farmers, the soybeans guys, they broke, but they're still holding on to it. It's going to be okay. It's almost like they don't have a problem losing because there's something at the end that says poor people are going to get it. Now, the other lie, the $2,000 check, that is not going to happen.
Nope.
That's the money you got from charities is not going to get that in. So what we have to become, and I'm saying I'm not worried about nobody else in the face of this earth. I'm only worried about us, all right? Because that's our thought at this time, us. What we have to do, we got to clamp it down and be realistic. We got to stop going to these restaurants, eating all this food. You need to save your money, eat what's healthy and nutritious and delicious, and stay home, cook your food, get like you used to be, and just hold on because there's going to be some very tough times within the next 6 or 7 months that are really going to put the test to work. Now, I know the SNAP program is very, very critical to us, but let's remember, we wasn't always on SNAP, were we? We wasn't always on Section 8. All right, we didn't find out about Section 8. I remember maybe about 1970, 71, we found out about Section 8. And by 1990, we found out about taking the Section 8 voucher to buy a house. Now, where do you think Mandeville, St. Bernard, and Clackamas, how you think they got it out the Iberville or St. Thomas? They knew about that. They knew about the food stamp programs way before we got them. They called them vouchers. So at the end of the day, we didn't really do this. We just got to think of who we really are. This is literally to what we've been through, all right? I'm saying right now, I know the things we went through, and I caught the end of it. We can make this. And what we have to do, stay focused, let the loud noise go, take your stuff and do what you need to do. And what I do remember, and folks out there listening, Bethlehem Lutheran, prime example. We taught our own kids. We taught them. And I have 4 of them, and all of them know one thing: lift every voice and sing. They know it because I taught it to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my job at home. My
So-
5-year-old grandson, he knows it.
So let me go back to something that you started off with, and I hate to sound like I'm Debbie Downer here, because I think that a lot of my faith in these leadership packs, these folks that are making decisions for our livelihood, I have lost a lot of faith in them, especially with the Democratic Party. And maybe I need to do a little bit better in seeing what they stand for. But in this situation, there are ramifications of your actions. And with them standing against coming to the table and signing that bill so that they can open up the government and SNAP and all this other stuff, it was working in our benefit because they had the pressure put on them, the Republicans. Even the polls had over a majority of 58% compared to the 30-some% that were saying that this was the Democrats' fault. It was not. It was more so people believing that it was the Republicans' fault than it was the Democrats. So stand your ground, because those issues that are associated with this make me say you got to believe that somebody believes something, because we saw a clean sweep of Democrats that just happened in the elections, and I think that that's because of the issues that we see coming out of this administration. That's number one. Number two, if we don't stand for something, what's going to happen for the next couple of months? We're going to be wondering, what we're going to do about this high-ass insurance. We ain't going to be able to do nothing about it because you gave away your playing cards. You gave them away. You gave away the power that you had. And I think that we're going to have to reap what we sow in this whole situation, because they've been trying their best to get rid of, whether we want to call it ACA or Obamacare. They've been trying to get rid of it. That is the major thing that this executive branch wants to do, because he can't stand nothing that came from Obama.
And my piece was saying it has happened already. And now we got to take these lemons and make the lemonade. So when Judy Brown from Duckoff Creek, Mississippi, and Arizona cannot afford her health insurance, you got to remember, this is their plan. And I do know, because there's nothing we can do about it today, at this minute. We had those folks to sell us down the drain or sell us out. That's done. There's nothing we can do about it. So now that didn't happen, our position is, okay, you got it. You got this round. But when reality hit the fan, let's talk about it. Just like I said last week, and I dare to retract. The same folks that laugh at me for seeing you always talking about voting. Well, we got the Orange Canonja Jr. in Baton Rouge. You saw what he did last week. He wasn't going to feed your children. He didn't care about the old folks, but you did.
I hated that the folks had to go through the position of, oh yeah, we're going to take some state money, we're going to put it on those cars, and the minute that they found out that the SNAP benefits were going to be able to go on those cards,
shut it down.
They reneged on it. They pulled that money right off them cards fast, quick, and in a hurry. And folks going to the store.
In the store when it happened.
Folks going to the store to go shopping, and you don't have no money on your card.
I was in the store. I was in Walmart Chapatoulas when that happened last Wednesday, and I witnessed that firsthand. But again, as I say, as you, me, and all the folks that says the same thing, voting is very critical. Voting, anytime I hear folks say they're going to do what they want anyway, you're right. And civil rights is not a spectator sport. You got to get in. You got to know everything. You got to get in it. You got to do it. I don't really care too much what you say about a politician, because I understand the point. Gerard Stevens should be mayor of this city a long time ago. But one of the things holding back the funding, because you got to see Mr. Charlie, because who's going to work for you on the corner? Who's going to knock on the door? Who's going to call the phone and tell your philosophy? That's not going to happen in our community. It bothered me about 5 years ago. A little brother was in a certain court. They took his children, the whole 9 yards, and you know what? For $100, he was standing on the corner campaigning for that judge. I said, well, what about that? Man, it's about the money. And let's be real, listeners. Y'all know, if 10 people call up here today and say they had phone bank, they campaigned for their particular candidate, you have to call their name. Just say you worked the election for the last couple of years. We got to ask for a dime and getting a dime. We'll see where we are. But we have to call it. This goes back. We wouldn't have to deal with this if we'd have did our job 2.5 years ago. I didn't take the thing that we had Southern homecoming, Grambling homecoming, and folks went to Texas football. We had 44 days to vote, so it's not an excuse. We just didn't do it, as you alluded to on this station. And the numbers now, look, 20,000 people showed up for early voting, right? That's only 9.5% out of 270,000 on the book. But guess what? We're leading the state. We did a report last night. New Orleans is leading the state in early voting turnout. And then to break down, the majority of African Americans out of that 20,000. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. But what are we going to do Saturday? What are we going to do Saturday? And if you let the record reflect, every member, the proposition they want to pass, which you have 4 of them, when they put it on, during the runoff in the off election, that means that a simple majority, the apartheid voting majority, has an opportunity to do what they want. I call it Burger King. They have it their way. So all of you folks that sit on your hands and tell me how bad it is not to vote, because they're going to do what they want anyway, think about our defenseless seniors and our children. You are a part of their demise. We don't need to bite our tongue on that, Gerard. Now, like I say, we know for a fact, and folks' soul is down the drain. But we're going to cheer. We're going to cheer at January 1st when them insurance premiums hit the fan. We're going to be all right, and we're going to see how they're going to answer to that.
Yep.
You took Obamacare out. The answer, your time coming. You're around what? You got to remember, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're on the second phase. Now, I commend the Democrats for standing up, but all the time, how they say, tongue and teeth fall out. And Dick Durbin, second man in charge, I think to me, it was a horrible thing, but I'm not going to harp on those 8 people, but I'm going to harp on December 1st, January 1st, and those insurance expired. And we have to bring the reminder up. And we have to bring a reminder to our folks. Look what we went through the last 41 days. Didn't feed our elderly, didn't feed our children, wouldn't even let them get early childhood education, didn't feed our veterans. They were used as pawns. We have to remember that. But thank you, Gerard, for having such an insight in this political aspect. And I close by saying, civil rights is not a spectator sport. Let's be real to ourselves. Get involved. Do what you have to do. The politician works for you.
Yep.
You got to make them work. Thank you, Gerard. What a great show.
All right, brother. Talk to you in a minute. All right, we got more coming up. Carl, hold on. We coming back.
Hey y'all, it's Chef Bunny, and I'm the host of the new show, The Roo, where we will be discussing all things food and NOLA. You can catch me live on air beginning February 1st at 12:30 p.m., so check out what we'll be cooking up on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Arnie Filko. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events to sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join Carrie and I every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Carrie Show. See you soon.
Hey, New Orleans, this is First Lady of Funk with Jason at Funky Soul Band. Get out November 15 and vote for Calvin Duncan.
It's Jason up, y'all. When it comes to them vocals, I'ma run that. When it comes to your vote, let him get that. Let your voice be heard. This is giving you his word. Vote, make this change for something. Vote Calvin Duncan. Vote Calvin Duncan. Vote Calvin Duncan.
Paid for by Calvin for Clerk. This is Calvin Duncan. Since I was in prison at the age of 19 for a crime I didn't commit, I fought for truth and justice. My opponent teamed up with MAGA to lie about my innocence, lie about his record, broke election law, and let court documents get thrown in the landfill. We deserve better. From Angola to the Supreme Court, I've been an underdog all my life, and every step of that journey has prepared me to serve as your clerk.
Calvin Duncan for Clerk.
Paid for by Calvin for Clerk.
WBOK. Listen now on WBOK1230.com.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. To all my veterans out there, happy Veterans Day, or we thinking about you to let you know we want to thank you for your service. one of these Marines is on the phone with us right now. I know that's who that is. I see that number. Carl,
What's going on, G?
what you say, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend.
What you got for us? Carl? Yeah, did we miss him? We dropped him? Carl, call me back. Cause evidently I'm your call dropped. So call me back. So if I sound like I'm being hard today on the Democrats, unless somebody can tell me otherwise, I'm probably going to be. What you say, Carl?
What's going on, my friend?
Man, your phone dropped. I'm sorry. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing better, man. I'm doing better.
What you got for me?
When you talked about those teachers, St. Tammany, it's a breeding ground for those type of teachers over here. And just like you said, the way these female teachers are treated, it's like the crime doesn't even matter. But a white man did the same thing, and they just finished sentencing him to 99 years and a half.
So that's what I was, and some of it might be the news. I don't know. Some of it might be the news to the point where I just don't hear the follow up. But all the time when I'm looking and watching, I'm hearing that they got arrested. But then you don't hear no more when it comes to the females.
They push their cases out so far that it drifts away. Then it's not the excitement of it, but the shock of it dies down real low. Then all of a sudden they done made these backroom deals with these corrupt judges, and they just either they put them on probation or they let them walk. And there's a couple of that they put on probation for like 3 months, then they let a couple others just walk away. Stop teaching, go somewhere else, get up out of here, but you can't teach no more. That's what they've been doing to a lot of them over here. They let them slide through.
But I noticed that there has been maybe an abundance of incidents or several incidents, I'll say that, where that has happened, where the young boys, I can remember when one of the teachers involved another teacher, and they were like getting the little young boys to come to their house, and they having an orgy party.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was like, what the hell?
That's right.
And the little boy was black or Latino, one of the two. I think they suspended him too. But
they
anyway,
probably did. Because they suspended him. Then they came back to him and didn't want him to say anything against the teacher, so she could keep her job.
Mm-hmm. But it ended up being two of them.
That's right.
And I was thinking to myself, I was like, is there something in the water over there? I knew they were having problems with the water at one point in time, but what's going on? Because this was happening a little bit too much.
Too much, yeah. And a little too often now.
Yep.
But now they see they can get away with it.
So I guess my question, I want you to answer this question, and I know you're going to answer it in the Marine type. Your daughter ends up being in a situation. God knows I ain't trying to put nothing on nobody. So I'm hoping those that know I've known Carl for years here. So I'm saying if you the daddy and you found out that something happened with a teacher and your daughter, what's your reaction?
They wouldn't find her body.
Ain't funny, Fred, no. And I know you're serious too. That's why I'm laughing. But let me ask you this, because I asked Wick the same thing. How about if it's your son, and you find out that he's been playing Sink the Sausage with the teacher, with the woman?
They still wouldn't find that teacher, because what 14, 15-year-old boy can seduce a teacher that's supposed to be well educated and have degrees?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't find them either. I would have that talk with my son, how not to get in that type of danger, that type of trouble, because there's no justification. There's no good end to it, other than you coming to visit me somewhere. if they find who did it.
If they find them,
which I would doubt.
But Carl, this is what I've been trying to figure out. How come none of them have been charged with statutory rape?
They related to somebody.
Because we definitely be talking about the young kids over here, and the first thing to come out, that's statutory rape.
Statutory rape. They know somebody. They affiliated with somebody.
Well, I don't know what's going on the North Shore, but I said something in the water over there that's happening a little bit too often.
Too often, yeah.
And Wick said it's happening in another parish too. Where'd you say it was, Wick? Over at St. John the Baptist? Yeah, St. John the Baptist parish. I didn't realize that as well.
Yeah, well, something definitely in the water down there.
So,
in the air too.
They got a lot of stuff in the air. I can tell you that. Just because they call it, what do they call it? Calling that a cancer alley? Yeah.
Cancer alley. Yeah. Yeah.
So good Lord.
So, you got people down there that's probably these teachers down there done subtracted one problem too much and now they got brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody did something to my daughter or my son and I was able to get to them,
mm-hmm.
they got. They're gonna get got.
Mm-hmm.
And you would not find them.
Well, Wick said something I thought was important too. He said, the younger me would have said something probably different to my boy if he messing with a grown woman. I said, yeah, I could see that because you're not thinking like old manish thinking. Me, I have a whole different perception of it because you're gonna get in trouble too.
Yeah, you are. But I would have that conversation with my son. I would have that conversation with my daughter. And all you got to do is give me a name.
Right. Yeah, that's the scary part. Do not give Carl the name. For everybody concerned in this whole situation, especially your daddy, don't give him the name. No, sir.
I'm telling you.
Yes, indeed.
I would even help you out if you got that problem.
No. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Don't even help him out.
You sure?
Yes, indeed. Nope. I don't want nobody to disappear, Carl. Thank you, bro. That's all right.
I'll talk to you later, G.
Hey,
all
brother, happy Memorial Day to you. Veterans Day to you, too. So thank you for your service and all that you do, Marine.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we got more coming up. Everybody hold tight. We'll get more into the 5 o'clock hour in just a few minutes right here at WBOK.
Campus of Xavier University.
Yeah.
WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Chicago may be the next battleground in President Trump's immigration crackdown. Homeland Chief Kristi Noem confirmed ICE operations are planned soon with possible National Guard backup if protests erupt. Governor J.P. Pritzker and Black Mayor Brandon Johnson say the enforcement is not welcome, with Pritzker promising a response. Billboard has named Drake the top R&B hip-hop artist of the 21st century, citing his 30 number ones, 135 top 10 hits, and 355 total chart entries. Rounding out the top 5 are Beyonce, The Weeknd, Chris Brown, and Usher. And the family of a black man, Dante Melton Jr., plans to sue over his death in Baltimore police custody. Melton died in June after waiting nearly an hour for medics during a dispatch outage. His death was ruled a homicide, and the lawsuit will be filed after the state investigation concludes. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Tuesday, Veterans Day. To all of my service folks, thank you so much for what you've done for this country. And we hope that you hear us and say, and know that we say thank you for your service in protecting us from anything that comes from far or near. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, my number is 504-582-9422. That's got to be something interesting too that I'm gonna talk about today. So I want y'all to know I'm gonna get into this story that I read in the paper. I'm getting into it in a few minutes. I want you all to listen close. I need you to call somebody when we read this next story. But I want to stay on topic with my current conversation. But we're gonna talk about something that's why I'm trying to get y'all prepared for it, because it just made me sit there and pause for a minute. This one did too, but it made me pause for a minute. What you say, Galloway?
What's going on, brother Gerard? How you doing today, bro?
Good, man. If I had yours, I cut mine off.
Oh man, don't do that, man. No, man. You know it's Veterans Week, man.
Yeah,
you know, and I.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Oh man, listen, brother. I always tell folks, man, Veterans Day will not be about me till I'm dead in my grave.
Yes, indeed.
As long as I'm living, I go and celebrate the people that served before me.
Mm-hmm.
I served in the Marine Corps for 20 years, from 1996 to 2016, in a combat MOS, 5 years in the combat zone. But I couldn't have done it without the men and women, black men and women that looked like me, if they wouldn't have served in the United States Civil War, Spanish American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. Those black veterans that served before me, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yep.
Y'all made it a way for me to do 20 years when most of those veterans, especially the World War II veterans, the greatest generation, every year something comes out that you can learn from. And it's sad it's taken 80 years for black people to understand that we were on the shores of Normandy,
yeah.
the beaches of Iwo Jima. We was in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking black men fighting. The Battle of the Bulge, the 76th 1st Tank Battalion, the longest serving tank battalion in a combat zone, 183 days, without coming off the front line. And if you're in the sports, just about, I say almost about 40% of the Negro League baseball team served in World War II in some form of the branch, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and even the Pelicans, the Black Pelicans.
It's sad that we don't have a history of our military service, and what's even worse to me, from then to now, I'm talking about as of today, that, you know, if you get a chance, and I'm telling anybody this, you get a chance, sit down and have a conversation with a veteran of any war, and they'll have stories to tell. But what's sad to me is that most of them can't even get veterans benefits. They don't have their health care, nothing. They don't have anything. They can't even go to the Veterans Administration. But you sitting there wearing a hat that says Korean War. You're sitting there saying that you were in service, but you can't even get what's owed to you. Now, I heard the stories about, you know, the place where they keep all the service records burnt up and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. We don't have no records of these gentlemen filling out their paperwork. But you drafted them. They were in wars. And we don't understand how many black folks, black men in their 60s, 70s, 80s that have no type of service records at all. So what do we do? What do we do about that?
Gerard, I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of the state, but those records was in the building.
Yep, the building burnt down.
And yes, and I'm gonna tell you this: I don't believe it was on accident. See, World War II, you had 2.5 million African Americans that registered for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You had 1.5 million they know served, and that's estimated. So it's probably close to maybe more than probably around that 2 million people that served.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was the records, but just when they came back, you know, they still faced Jim Crow and segregation. Couldn't use their GI Bill. That's how the poor whites became middle class after World War II. They were allowed to use their GI Bills to, number one, buy a home, number two, start a small business loan. Now, that same black man who fought, whether it was in Caledonia in the Philippines, or if he fought in Germany or France, he was not allowed to use those same benefits.
Wow.
And those yes, and that's in Mississippi. I'll give you an example. Out of all those black veterans that fought in Mississippi, only 34 was allowed to use the GI benefits.
So I looked something up for you. I looked something up for you. The National Personnel Records Center. That's what it's called, NPRC. It was in St. Louis, Missouri. It burned down in 1973, destroying millions of military personnel records, which included many records of African American service members. While the fire destroyed a significant portion of the records, it did not exclusively impact African American service records. That's what it says. But as I talked to a lot of the veterans from around here, and also talked to former enlisted Army veteran Tracy Riley, she's trying to help them get all of their information as she goes over to the West Bank to one of the centers over there to help these veterans, and they coming from everywhere to meet with her to try to get their records.
You know, last year or 2 years ago, the Biden administration, it was Yale that did a study about how African Americans were not receiving their proper benefits. It was so bad that the VA had to go back. I'm talking backtrack. Vietnam, Korea, trying to get these black servicemen and women their benefits. Like I tell folks, I don't understand the VA math, and I guarantee you nobody can explain VA math to you. You got some people, and I'm telling you, I know it's based on skin color. You get some young little white boy that served 3 or 4 years, he'll get a 90% rating. You'll get a black man like me who served in the combat MOS, and they will try to give me a 70% rating. I told them they was out their daggone mind. I'm going to get my 100%.
What is your MOS?
And I wouldn't, it was 1812. That's the Marine Corps tanker at 19 kilo in the Army.
Okay.
So Army people know. Trust me, I was, hey, listen, I was a wild, crazy young man. Huh?
You said you a tank?
Yeah, tanker.
Oh, okay. So that means that you infantry.
I was doing some. I did some killing in my day.
Yes,
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
I understand.
Like I tell people, I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna be afraid to talk about it, because you got people like you know the name Medgar Evers.
Yep.
You know that man fought on the shores of Normandy on D-Day. And people still don't know about that.
I'm
man
looking
plays
at the
football at Alcorn.
I'm looking at the records destroyed now to find out how many military records were destroyed for African Americans. They said it was estimated 16 to 18 million military personnel files were destroyed, largely covering the period from World War I through 1963. That's not even up to today's folks, but that's from World War I through 1963. And what, World War I was in what, 1940 something? 43?
No, 1917.
It wasn't, okay, I'm thinking 2 then. So
2 was 41.
Right. So World War I all the way through 1963 were destroyed.
Yes, and I'll say it again. And look how when the records were destroyed. But from that time, from 1917 all the way to 1960, black folks were still not getting their just due.
Nope.
That's why I'm a big advocate for veterans, man. Because like I tell folks, I got every dime, and I'm still trying to get more from these people. Because I'm like, the folks that served, especially my Vietnam veterans, the way they were treated. Gerard, I don't know if I could have came home and somebody would have gave me a bag of crap inside of it, because that's what they were giving some of them. And then you had the black men that had to come home in the 60s from Vietnam and still had to face the draft protesters, and then you had to face segregation still.
Right.
And I was like, no, man. Me coming home and getting a VA loan and a business loan, if I wanted it, it was too easy for me. And I said, that's why I said this can't be about me, when I know folks served and went through way worse. I had uncles who could not wear their World War II uniform home, riding back to New Orleans. Once they got off that ship in New York and they rode the bus As soon as you crossed the Mason-Dixon line, you had to get in the back of the bus. You had black people who served in what was it? What is it now? Fort Polk, back to Fort Polk,
right.
And in Fort Hood. The World War II POWs received better treatment than the black service members.
Wow. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this this film that was made, and I was watching it today. It's a 3-minute piece, but it had the Vietnam veterans, these gentlemen, while they were in Vietnam, talking about how they were treated in the 1970s, and they said it showed all those white supremacists, and also the Vietnam people that learned the word and all these different things.
They call them,
From those white supremacists, saying that they never knew that word. They had to learn it from somewhere. So they were also being corrupted in the sense by whites to let them not, understand who they were.
Interact with black people. Yes,
yep.
They've done that. And remember, in World War I and World War II,
you had your tail.
They told the France black people had tails.
Right, and they would walk up to them and say, "Can I see it?"
Yes.
And they'd be wondering what the heck they talking about.
Mm-hmm. And you know what happened? They seen a tail all right, but the tail was in the front. That's why you got all them war babies right now throughout Europe. That's the truth, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to. Let me show you that tail.
Yeah, and that's what happened. I'm saying, when I was stationed in Germany, Gerod, this is real story. When I was stationed everywhere, every country I went in Europe, the locals would tell you how the black liberators came and liberated their town, and they respected the black soldier more because the black soldier was more polite and understanding because of the struggle that the black soldiers was going through in America. They said they didn't want the white soldiers. The white soldiers was arrogant and thought they was all that. That's true story. Right now, Donald Trump is in the Netherlands. Now he's not in the Netherlands, but it's a plaque in the Netherlands that's recognizing 172 African Americans who fought to liberate that city, a city in the Netherlands. You know, this man had that plaque removed.
Oh wow!
Just because they're black, but the Netherlands said no. They fighting back against that. But it is American cemetery, so it's gonna go to court.
Mm-hmm.
But how evil can you be? These men sitting here fighting for freedom, and nobody in his family has ever served. You know, his grandfather was a draft dodger.
Well, he was too, with them bone spurs.
Yeah, Trump was a draft dodger. Them 5 bone spurs that he had. Mm-hmm. You think somebody gonna pay you some attention? You sitting here trying to let people starve, and you talk about opening up the government, Gerard. How can you go give $40 billion to Argentina and then you're gonna play around with SNAP benefits?
Right.
Now all of a sudden the government gonna open up. They know it's holiday time. They know people gonna go spend money that they don't have to run themselves in debt every year. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell people, man, sit yourself down. Drink some old English like I do. You leave all that other high spending item stuff alone. I tell people, I told that man at the VA, because every Veterans Week, I go sit at a different VA hospital and just hang out with them guys. And I told them, and all of them want something to drink. You ain't getting nothing to drink from me. I see, if I give you a shot of this old English, you ain't going to wake up, buddy.
Do you think the average person understands what a military family or military veteran goes through?
No. I tell people all the time, the only reason why I'm still here today is because of my support group, which is my wife and my immediate family.
Oh, wow.
They understand. They do not understand. You got to remember, I was going to Iraq just like several other thousands of other service members were going to Iraq and Afghanistan year on, year off.
Mm-hmm.
Our tempo was so high, the suicide rate had climbed to something like 22 veterans a month was killing themselves because of the stress.
Wow.
And I try to explain to people, you go from 100 to back to the United States to 0. And some folks can't handle it. You're in a time zone which you were 9 hours, in Iraq, it was like a 9-hour time zone difference.
Mm-hmm.
You had to watch everything you did or you wasn't going to come home. And there was so many people being lost that you got to remember, the media stopped talking about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan after so many years. But we were still going over there. And the support system is saves a lot of folks. I know at least 5 people that I can name off the top of my head who committed suicide that I actually served with.
Wow.
And only one person that committed suicide was even close to 40 out of that 5.
How do
These
you
are
deal
young
with
men.
how do you deal with that? Is that a part of the support system?
The support system, yes, you got to find somebody to talk to. And it ain't got to be no psychiatrist or nothing like that. You get you a good family member or a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is my best friend. And you sit there and you look them in the face and, hey, look, sometimes it ain't going to be all right for me. If I hear, I'll never forget when I got my first IED got blown up under my vehicle. There was nobody I could talk to while I was over there. I was quiet. Because you got to remember, you're there to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Your job in war is to survive. It's not about no country. It's not about no flag. It's not about standing for no national anthem. It's about survival.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get home, you're so happy to see. But then when you start hearing stuff, the car door, backfire, fireworks, anything can set some of these folks off.
Mm.
I used to sit outside in my backyard for the longest. That woman said, bring your behind in here. Come talk to me. And we just started having conversations.
Mm.
And then you got so much regret, some of us do, that actually were doing the fighting. You know somebody got killed. You know some young kid that got killed that was only 18, 19, 20 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my last time in a combat theater, I took young men over there. They was in middle school when 9/11 happened. So that's how long these wars dragged on. And folks got to realize not every veteran is crazy. Not every veteran wants sympathy. Not every veteran wants a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
We just want what was on paper, what's owed to us.
Right.
If you say that I can get out and I can have my benefits that I earn, give them to me.
Mm-hmm.
All this red tape that some of these folks go through there, you know, in Texas, it's over 1 million veterans live here. Every year, a veteran kills themselves in front of the VA.
Mm.
They don't believe folks have PTSD. They don't believe folks have TBI. Because those people that work in that VA, some of them were service members, but a lot of them are not. They don't really care until something happens. Like that young man that it was a couple of years ago, the one when I was up there, and he went in the parking lot, put a .357 to his mouth and blew his head off in front of everybody, and because they didn't believe it. And I try to tell folks, yeah, folks talk a lot of stuff, but some of these folks are not built to handle a stressful combat situation.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, when you see somebody get shot, it's not like the movies. It's not like them video games. It's real life. Somebody will bleed out and die in your arms. Somebody that you went over there with is not coming back.
Wow.
That's the reality that I think most Americans do not understand. And it goes on so long, people forget. Just like what happened in Vietnam. Look how long we spent in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Almost 15 years. What, 60 to 75?
Mm-hmm.
With the same thing we did in Afghanistan and Iraq. As the wars get longer, you're going to have more people. But a lot of those men were drafted. Thank God I was not drafted. I don't know if I could be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But I did sign up, and I wasn't brainwashed. I did what I needed to do to survive. They awarded me with the Bronze Star with Valor. That's the 4th highest medal in the nation. You know, but I was wild back then. You know, I had to calm myself down. It does take a lot of self-therapy. People think, oh, just go to counseling. Nope. Because I went to counseling for traumatic brain injury and PTSD. We get blown up so many times. I spent 9 months in there. I'm looking at everybody else like they looking at me. How crazy is he? I'm looking, you crazy too. You know, that was the mentality we had in them classes.
You think
I
I'm
was
crazy,
like, man,
I'm looking at you like, you crazy too, so.
Yeah, everybody there, nutty than a fruitcake right about now. That's how them classes made me feel.
Yes, indeed.
I tell folks, find you somebody to confine yourself into, open yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm able to talk, and I'm not afraid to talk and tell folks what happened. It's not war stories. It's about getting it off your chest. Because that stuff, if it stays up into you, Gerard, it start playing in your head. Start playing tricks on you. You have yourself walking outside, looking around, thinking somebody coming for you, and ain't nobody out there but these self-driving cars. These little Uber machines that's gonna giving you food. It's a trip. It will. The war will play a trick on your mind.
I was listening.
Some people can handle it.
I'm thinking it was. I'm trying to figure out what movie it was, where the young man had come back home, and he was just surveying his area that he was in because that's what he was used to doing. He knew how to survey an area, and he was in friendly territory. He was at a party, and the dog was acting up. He had grabbed the belt to go get the dog, and he had to be calmed down by his wife because evidently he was getting ready to try to kill the dog.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, Gerard. It took me probably about 9 good months to start driving on one side of the road. I was so afraid of driving on the left or the right side of the road. I used to always drive in the middle because that way you wouldn't get hit.
By you wouldn't trigger it.
Yeah, the IEDs and EFPs were set on that side. So I used to freak out. And folks was like, man, and some people laugh and think it's funny. And I'm like, bruh, you got to understand, man, when one of them bombs go off, you're lucky to come home. There's a lot of people that got hit with EFPs. And if they do come home, they missing limbs. They missing eyes. I mean, that's the reality that folks don't understand. Some people want to die because they're missing both of their legs. Some people are missing 2 legs and 1 arm. It's real. So I really try to express to veterans, don't sit around by yourself and complain. Get you some help. Somebody in this world loves you. You may not have the 100% disability. You may not have the 20-year retirement. Get off your behind and find you something to do to keep your mind occupied.
But I do say this, Galloway, that was bothering me, and that is when you sign to go into the military has made it a point to say that if something happens to you, we're going to make sure that we take care of you. And I have not seen that with a lot of these older veterans.
No, listen, I'm going to tell you this. It's gotten better, but you're so correct. World War II, Korea, Vietnam veterans, I think, from my opinion on it, they have been the most disrespected people that has ever served. You got Vietnam veterans with Agent Orange.
Right.
And they still cannot get a disability rating.
Nope. They cannot.
And that's the sad. Now here it is. You got somebody that, when I served with me, that never left the combat outpost. I mean, the forward operation base. That's the FOB. Combat outpost is where we were at. They never left the FOB. An incoming artillery shell hit halfway across the base, and they get PTSD. Now they got 90%. But you got a man who went there in the jungles in Vietnam, had Agent Orange sprayed on them, probably killed somebody, hand-to-hand combat. Ain't nothing wrong with him. I'm like, how does it? How does that make sense? You do have some good people that really do care about our veterans, but most of them don't work in the VA. Most of them work with the VA, but they have outside organizations, and I think that's what helps a lot of people. Like they have, where I'm at, they have classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You get to come up in there, and some folks like it, where you get to express what happened to you. But I think they still trying to figure out how to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But like I try to explain to the doctor or the psychiatrist, ma'am, if you never got blown up, how can you explain to me how to feel about being blown up?
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem. I say you got to get somebody up in here who's actually been out there and seen how a vehicle looks, seen how it is to pull somebody out of a vehicle and there's nothing left but his torso.
Wow.
Or you got to get somebody's their legs that's dangling from them.
And that's a lot to live with. Your eyesight seeing your buddy or somebody that's out on a patrol with you, and you see that because you're trying to save him.
Oh yes, my neighbor
or
right
at least
across the
bring
street
something
from
back for him to be buried with.
Yes, my neighbor right across the street, black man. He was my platoon sergeant at the time. I watched him get shot. He's had to get his leg amputated.
Wow.
Now he doesn't ask for nothing. I told folks earlier today, I seen that man sitting there hooking up a trailer to his truck. And so some people can handle it, but me and him, I was his wingman. He was the 4, I was the 3.
Yeah.
That means he was the platoon sergeant, I was his wingman.
Right.
But we had a great bond. But thanks for taking my call. Hear the music, Gerard,
Galloway,
man.
love
Happy
you,
Veterans
man.
Day to all y'all.
We love you, brother, and thank you for your service,
All right.
what you're doing. All right, more coming up, y'all. We got to take a break here. We'll come back with more in just a minute. Everybody hold tight.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Offscript Media has its eyes on the future of content. It's a vertically integrated and creator-powered media and commerce company that views itself as a one-stop shop for someone making content. Datavio Samuels is CEO of Offscript, and he says the company is focused on content creators in social.
Yeah, look, I think that social is the number one platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible in social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them, do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. You know, one of the things, too, and Galloway, man, love you, man. Thank you for that conversation. That was something serious for all of us to hear, so I appreciate you being a part of it. But one of the things I do usually for Veterans Day is have a conversation. I missed it last year, and I regretted it because she looked at me and said, "Where were you?" I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to call Miss Pearl and tell her thank you for your service. Because back in the day, and I love when she tells the story because she gives us the first account of being a woman that in the days of the national, I think when we start looking at especially black women, let me give you this: there were 350,000 American women who served in the military in non-combat roles, and that was in World War II. But they were filling crucial positions like clerks, mechanics, pilots to free up the men for combat duty. Notable groups including the Women's Army Corps. The women accepted the volunteer emergency services in the Navy and Air Force service pilots. Soviet women also served in large numbers, including combat roles such as snipers and pilots. But, that's another deal. But on the phone with me right now, we got Miss Pearl on the phone. Hey, Miss Pearl.
How you doing?
You thought I was going to forget again?
Yes, because I relocated to Raleigh.
Yeah, that's what I know. I said, call this number and see if she going to pick up, because she big time now, living up in the north part of the country, up in Raleigh, North Carolina. How you doing?
It was cold last night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. How was the weather? I talked to my sister. My sister's in Durham, so she told me she was getting ready for it, but I didn't call her last night to see how cold it got.
No, it was pretty cold. My daughter, she had to cover all the plants up with sheets and stuff.
Oh,
goodness. It's supposed to freeze or something. It got down to about 29.
Ooh. I'm glad y'all didn't get no snow, though, right?
No, we didn't see. There was supposed to be snow flurries, but we didn't get any.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So I'm in here having
and guess
these
I went for my meal today, my Veterans Day. I went to Chick-fil-A. They were giving out chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, they're doing that nationally. They're doing that nationally. So I think they were doing it here too as well. But first of all, thank you for your service. But I wanted to talk about how you also participated in this armed services, because you were a part of, was that the WAC?
The Women Army Corps. They called us the WAC. Yes.
Yeah. But that was a little bit different than, because they wouldn't let you all go into combat roles.
Right. We were supporters.
But you had to wear the uniform.
I worked in the medical administration, a hospital at Fort Huachuca.
Okay. So what did you do?
I worked in the hospital in medical records at Fort Huachuca, birth certificates and stuff like that.
Well,
I kept track of medical records, huh?
Is it interesting to you that we see the changes in how women are in the military today compared to what they were during your time in the military?
Well, we were a lot safer because, we had our own WAC detachment where all the women stayed together. But now the women and the men are co-eds.
Well,
so we were a lot safer then.
Safer?
We didn't have to worry about taking a shower with a man coming in on us.
You ain't had to worry about all of that. Y'all ain't had to worry about all of that.
No, we didn't have to worry about it, but that's what the women of today have to worry about.
Mm-hmm. So how did that go over? Because that means you got stationed somewhere then, correct?
Yes. I took basic in Alabama at Fort McClellan, and then I was transferred to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and then I went to training at Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Oh, so you've been around. Well, meaning that in
yes.
a
and then I had
spirited
two
way.
children in Germany because I got married and then went to Germany and had two children.
That's what I was going to ask you too, because your husband was in the military as well, right?
Right, because I got orders for Frankfurt, Germany, and he got orders for Kaiserslautern, Germany. So I got out to go with him. At that time, it was easy to get out.
Oh, you got out of it altogether?
I got out after 2 years.
And that was to make sure that your family was together then?
Yeah. Okay. And then so I finished his 20.
Yes, indeed. So, let me ask you this, because I don't know how much of this you know about it, but I do want to have that conversation. When I talk about women in the military, one of the stories that I think was one of the most important movies of our time here was about the 688. And
I saw that movie. I thought it was nice.
And
I did the poster, the picture that advertised.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't wear our hair like that. Our hair had to be like above the collar and restraint.
But there were a whole bunch of things a part of that movie that didn't seem to fall in line.
Oh, that was the only thing was the hair in the beginning. But if you notice towards the end of the picture, somebody must have corrected it because the hair was closer to the scalp than it was before.
Well, one of the things that got me in that movie was the fact that the white men, which I thought was interesting, would not salute black women that had a higher rank than them.
Well, also that movie was made before integration.
But
that movie
they still
was
had higher rank than them.
Before Truman integrated the military.
Mm-hmm. So even though that they had higher rank than them, they still didn't think that they were worthy of them saluting them at all.
Well, I don't know. When I got to basic, there was some young ladies from Vermont that didn't understand why we had to sleep in the same bed with black people. And when the sergeant came in, who was black, nothing was said. She said, "Is there a problem?" She said, "No problem."
Oh, wow. And they didn't think that was a problem at all.
Well, it's kind of hard to complain to the person about black people sleeping with you if she was black.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. If you had to if you had to do a movie, now I'm putting the writer and putting together this because I know what your daughter do too. What would you want to be the parts of your career that would be on the movie screen? What would you want that to look like? What parts were so interesting that you want everybody to see that?
I don't know. I think the most interesting part was the idea after basic training when you're on that parade field and they say pass and review. It was something. But then after a while, after you've been in there and have done many parades, you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised that the president wanted to have a military parade?
Gas chambers, huh?
Were you surprised that Trump wanted to have a military parade?
Well, I like the way they presented the parade. They walked. They did not march.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have looked like another country or something?
Well, they walked. Nobody was in step. They were just walking. They were just walking to be walking because that's what they wanted them to do.
Mm-hmm.
They
wanted them to march.
Say, I don't want to march.
Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
And that's why Trump got upset because they were like just walking.
So my last question here, because I don't want to bother you while you enjoying your Raleigh, North Carolina home. What do you think?
Oh, my grandson, one of my grandsons is at the University of Charlotte. He's going to graduate in May, and the other one is wants to be communication sports announcer. He's on the newspaper in Central, North Carolina Central.
North Carolina Central? Well, my sister is like the executive administrator there, so make sure that I get his name.
Because he's on the Echo, the newspaper.
Mm-hmm. So make sure I get his name so that she can go and
What's
meet
her
him.
last name?
My sister's McQueen, her married last name. So Deborah.
Okay.
So just make sure that we get the info so we can put them together. But you said the other one was what? Is at UNC Charlotte?
Yes, he's working with. He want to be a sports statistician, and he's working with the football team. So we saw him on TV the other night.
Oh, okay. Well, what's her name too that came from here? That's the weather girl for Channel 11 up there. Was the weather girl here at Channel 6.
You're talking about, I watch Murphy. She's very good. I watch her every morning.
Yep. What's her name? I keep forgetting the name. Every time I go up there, I send her a text message. And
Keely Murphy.
Yeah, Kaylin Murphy. Yeah, Quaylen Murphy.
In fact, she does more than the weather. She does announcing and everything. So she's pretty good.
Yeah, she has really, really progressed. And I know she's from up that way, but she wanted to leave here and go back home. So that was interesting.
And she talks and she gives the weather in New Orleans.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She does, and she's been there now 3 or 4 years, one of the two. So
Yeah, and I look every now and then I'll see something about Sheila Turk.
yeah, because she's in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah, but look, I'm not gonna hold you up. I just wanted to call you, get some information from you, let everybody hear what you did, and say thank you for your
And
service.
thanks
Of
for not
course,
forgetting about them.
I ain't forget you this time. I didn't. tell your daughter I said hello to. What's she doing now? She producing what?
No, she works now for Cisco. She does events online. You know, like if you see you having a convention, she makes sure the audience is quiet so you can hear the speaker.
Yes, indeed.
And she works from home, and she says she makes more than television.
Wow. Yes, indeed.
Cisco Computer Company.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very, very good. What a difference. She's one of the best. From what I understand, too, she's one of the best producers in the television production companies in Raleigh, Durham, and now she's out of it.
Yes.
Wow. Let you know how they
So
value us
she's
these
teaching
days.
her son's, the son that wants to be a sports announcer. She's telling him what he needs to take for school and what not to do.
Now he got a good
She
teacher.
had an interview with Grant Hill.
Okay. Everybody forget Grant went to Duke. So
yep.
Right there. Well, thank you, Miss Pearl. Thank you very much. I'll
thank
probably be
you.
up that
Thanks
way
for
very
calling.
soon. I'll be up that way very soon. So I'll see you. I'll try to call you, let you know when I'm coming.
Okay, man. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Miss Pearl Forbes, she was a resident here forever. She's from here, but her daughter lives in North Carolina. And it was, evidently, I've been out of the loop, was one of the best television television producers that we had. And she went away. She's like, I'm not doing that no more. And Quayla Murphy, y'all remember Quayla Murphy? Quayla Murphy, who was the weather girl at Channel 6 here. And she is the weather girl at Channel 11, which is WTVD, the ABC station in Durham. So that's where she is too. So a lot of good talent coming out here that's going different places. So I just wanted to let you know. Kevin?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say, look, what I learned being in the military was this.
You in military?
Everybody almost 30 years.
Oh, what branch?
Air Force.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean there is another branch? No.
Don't start nothing.
We used to mess with each other. Look, the same people in the military are the exact same people outside of the military. More times than not, everybody is joining the military for the most part to have a better quality of life than where they came from, because the military represents training and exposure to life. And I grew up in the military, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is this: Black people have to realize you're Black no matter where you're at, and your circumstances do not change. Now, the quality of your life may change a little bit depending on where you're at, but the things that matters for is how we're regarding in this country does not change. I don't care what branch you're in. I don't care what corporation you work for. So the bottom line is, I always look at life like this. Whenever you do anything, and this is for all the people listening, insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting something different to change. I listen to all this trauma porn about our circumstances that's been going on here in America, but I'm not hearing anybody talking. Well, and I'm saying not. There's no such thing as absolute, but generally speaking, for us to change our conditions, because we're doing the same thing over and over, we're not talking about when we learn from those experiences, what are we doing to solve the problem? That's kind of like in the military. You're not going to survive unless you learn from the people who didn't survive, so you can do something different than them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing happening with the African American community. We keep talking about what went wrong with no intentions on how to analyze that and say, well, what can we do differently so we don't have to keep hearing these same stories and focusing on the trauma porn. It's like we interested in the disaster, the tragedy, and without being intentional, saying the tragedy is supposed to be a learning moment so you can do something different.
Right. I agree. All right, Kev, thank you, brother. Thank you for your service, too, man. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were in the military.
Well, you don't know a lot about me.
That's right. You're right. All right, Kev.
And vice
Thank you,
versa.
man.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. President Trump has revoked Secret Service protection for former Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, this is happening just before she heads out on a 15-city tour promoting her new book called 107 Days. Now, by law, vice presidents, they get 6 months of protection after leaving office, but former President Biden extended Harris's coverage to 18 months, which would have carried her into July of 2026. Well, it ends on Monday. The White House says Trump is just following the law, but the timing is suspect, especially as Harris prepares for her return to public stage. Now, Trump has done this before. Earlier, he yanked it from former head of security, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. And back in March, he ended service for Biden's children, which Biden had extended before leaving office. For these stories and more, go to AURN.com or follow me across social media at Ebony McMorris.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Wake up your taste buds at Inner City Brews and Bistro, home of the one-of-a-kind peach cobbler pancakes. Start your day with our soulful breakfast favorites. Then come back for bold cocktails and those oh-so-good Creole flavors that always hit just right. In the heart of Tremay, every bite feels like home. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. and find us at 1401 St. Bernard Avenue. Inner City Brews and Bistros, uniquely New Orleans, deliciously unforgettable.
2517 Bayou Road, Chef Sherman Esteem. You're talking about great food, great conversations, and definitely great drinks. We sell hookahs and we rent them out. So if you want to have a nice time and smoke your nice hookah, come on down to Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries and have a wonderful time. We will entertain you and we will treat you with happiness and joy. And by the way, on our first and third Saturdays, we always have a block party on Bayou Road. Come and check us out from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree. Start a new one. On your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Hey, New Orleans, this is First Lady of Funk with Jason Edward Funky Soul Band. Get out November 15 and vote for Calvin Duncan.
It's Jason up, y'all. When it comes to the vocals, I'ma run that. When it comes to your vote, let him get that. Let your voice be heard. This is giving you his word. Vote, make this change for something. Vote Calvin Duncan. Vote Calvin Duncan. Vote Calvin Duncan.
Paid for by Calvin for Clerk.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
If someone asks, let them know you listen to WBOK. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. A few minutes here before we get out. You know what? One of the things I forgot I wanted to tell everybody to get a chance. I don't know if people really go. Do people really go back to the movies now? Do they go to the movies to see different movies? Because I know a lot of folks now just, stuff is offered streaming. There's a movie that I really want to promote, and they ain't paying me nothing. They're not paying the station anything. But maybe they need to advertise because it's an AMC Galleria movie that's playing right now. And it's called Sarah's Oil. Sarah's Oil. It's about a little black girl set in the 1910 Oklahoma surrounding, and that was during the oil boom. They said Sarah Rector is her name. She inherited 160 acres of land. Most folks had dismissed it as worth and called it worthless. But undeterred by other doubts, she becomes convinced that there is oil beneath the surface of her land. And with the help of a charming wildcatter, they called him that. His name is Bert, but his real name is Zachary Levi. The two seek hidden treasure. However, when Sarah and Bert's success attracts the attention of corrupt local oil magnates, the two must fight to protect Sarah's inheritance from falling into the wrong hands. If you get a chance, I'm telling everybody, go see that movie. Go see that movie and see how even if somebody like a little girl and somebody else has the authority of her own land and the oil on her own land, there is always somebody else that says that you're not worthy of this amount of money and we're going to hold it for you. I don't want to tell the movie, but I want you to go see it. It'll make you mad, but it also will let you know that there are some good people in this world today or back in the day that looked at what they were going to do for somebody else. If you're looking it up, if you want to see it, Sarah, Sarah, Sarah's Oil. I think that this is an important movie to show over time. If you get a chance to look it up online, look at it, look at the trailer, because I think more than anything else, this will give us some idea of even how we were treated when we had an opportunity to come up. And this little girl, and she was a little girl, and she did her thing. Sarah Rector. Take a look up just Sarah's Oil. I don't know how to promote it anymore. The other thing that I'm looking into, and I want to see this a little bit more. I got to look into this because I really want to talk about this too. But as I look into this story, I'm a little disturbed that in Slidell today, and God knows I know that there are a lot of hurting people, that a little boy got killed as he was run over by an SUV that was driven by his grandmother while he was waiting for the school bus. It wasn't intentional. I think it was an accident that even this grandmother has got to live with. But as I read the article to get a chance to discuss it, it disturbed me that this is it. This is an accident. So why did the Slidell Police Department arrest the grandmother? So that's why I want to make sure that I go back and look at all the details of this story. Because if this is an accident, I just think that we got to have a better sense of who and what she was. All right. All right, that's going to wrap things up for me on today. Coming up, Arne and Carrie coming up next to take you into the nighttime, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of the day. And we will make sure that we see you on tomorrow. Y'all stay warm. Have a good night.